Welcome back, you guys. Thanks for being here. Thank you for listening to us for the past few episodes. We hope you guys like what we're doing so far. If you don't, we'll still continue because we don't have a choice. But today we're going to talk about the longest relationship we both ever had.
Yeah, and probably all of you as well.
Yeah.
It's something that we can all
Completely relate to.
the same relationship that we've all been having.
It's the exact same relationship we all had.
With different ups and downs though. But
Yeah. But the only true constant in our lives that is God. I'm joking. It's us. Me, I, you, everybody.
My throat hurts.
Mine too. But welcome back to the topic. The long relationship we've all ever had is with ourselves before anybody else. And we want to talk about the ups and downs of it. Really? Ups and downs? Or like...
Or the constant existence of it. I don't know.
But we realized that like the whole concept of self-love, which is a very new concept. I don't think I've ever heard of this phase.
Yeah, not when I was a kid.
When's the first time you ever heard of self-love?
I probably on some Instagram post.
What did you think first when you heard of this?
Like, I mean, I just like when like I actually don't recollect ever like thinking about it as this new information. It just went like, okay, identification of something that was already prevalent in my head. So I don't think I was just went like, that makes sense. That's what it is or anything.
Yeah. For me, I think something similar. I kept thinking...
It's like feminism, the word feminism. Like when I heard it first, I was like, wait, but like...
Isn't everybody this?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I found out it was like a whole new thing, I was like, oh... You need to talk about it as a separate thing. I thought it was a constant for everybody, but apparently.
And then when you have conversations with people, you find a lot of people who aren't okay with thankfully they're not part of my life anymore. But yeah. So that is weird.
I think I have a lot of self-love for myself, or at that age when I heard of this whole concept, I was very much like no, I know my worth and I know my self-respect and all that jazz. So I actually related this as self-obsession. That's how I saw self-love.
But you always like knew you loved yourself? Like
yeah. I mean, I had some issues and I still do have issues, everybody does. But I think I was just like, oh, this is me and I'm okay with it. Like I felt like there's not really much I could do. I mean, I think I had a lot of self-acceptance at a very young age. That's how I would think about it.
Do you think if you're insecure, that means you don't love yourself as much?
No, I think the whole point of self-love is to become more secure with yourself. So for me, there's this weird thing. All the insecurities I have, whatever, stretch marks, cellulite, whatever the hell these things were. I don't know what cellulite was until maybe 3-4 years ago. When one of my friends told me something and I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, I think I found that out because the paps started shaming one of the Kardashians. And I was like, wait, that is a thing?
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't realize.
I didn't even know there was a term for it because cellulite in my head was like biology.
Yeah. Same. It was not like a thing I knew.
Yeah.
So I knew people who talk about these things and I used to be like, oh. But like for me, so this is very funny. It's how I got over most of my insecurities, okay? One was I saw this post that said, know your insecurities so that like, if anyone ever points it out to you, you're already aware of it. So then you're just like, not, like, you're not gonna be like surprised about it. So then I noticed one thing about like, when people pick on something on you, it's morely like what they focused on their whole lives. And they put that projected onto you. So like I have this one tooth, okay? It's like a baby tooth which never fell out. And I remember once someone in my class, he had like a teeth cleaning issue, something, okay, someday. And then he was very obsessed about his teeth for like a few days. And he came over to a dentist and some issues. And like, so he kept staring at my face. And one day he's like, oh, this tooth is really small. And I was like, out of nowhere. And I turned to him and I was like, listen, I know you're very focused about your own tooth right now, but there's no need to project it onto you. And I was like, and he's like, no, I didn't mean it like that. And I was like, no, I know you don't mean it in any rude way, but I'm just like, I'm trying to tell you that you're so focused on your teeth or your tooth or whatever, you're focusing on everyone else as well.
Yeah.
But nobody's thinking about it. Not a soul, no one's ever thinking about your teeth or your face or whatever, because like only if you're conscious about it are you checking that
That makes
part.
a lot of sense.
So for me, I feel like self-love, for me, was always self-acceptance. That's how I related to as a kid as well. So I think I accepted myself however I was back in school because I didn't want to deal with like people pointing it out to me in college or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then that's kind of how I went about it. But then obviously with time things happen and you become friends with people and like, you know, like more like different insecurities that you actually did not know about. Because I think when you're younger, your insecurities are more very physical. You know, you're very focused on physical insecurities because like puberty and adolescence and growing up.
And not on your personality.
No. And I think once you start like meeting people and having emotional connections with humans and not friends that you were just growing up with, you meet new people.
So basically you've been aware that you accept yourself from a young
I mean,
age.
it's obviously after...
Have you ever gotten to a point where you've not loved yourself?
I mean, I right
Not a point, maybe just a phase.
No, right now I think I'm in a phase that I'm not very happy with who I am. Around my 20s is when I started realizing this inner child thing, you know. So I've been very cautious of my inner child now because I keep thinking about like, oh, this poor little girl when she was 10 years old had to go through this, or she had to go through this when she was 11, whatever, you know, childhood trauma. And then like now that I think about it, I'm like, oh, I want to take care of that person. So I'm trying so cautious to take care of myself now because like in my 30s, I don't want to think that, oh, my 20-year-old was so broken. You know? So that way I've realized that I've become so careful and so conscious and cautious.
You've become protective of yourself.
Too protective. I feel like I've become weaker for that reason. Which isn't something I want to be. But I feel like when it comes to understanding your emotions and like really accepting your emotions, you tend to become vulnerable. And vulnerable isn't always a bad thing, but for me, I feel like it makes me weaker. I feel it makes me weaker. Like my phase right now where I think that self-love is a problem. Because I feel like I'm not putting myself in situations I don't want to be in anymore because I love myself too much.
Yeah.
But if I don't put them in situations, I probably won't grow.
Yeah.
It's too difficult. Do you have a lot of self-acceptance, self-love?
I think I do. I think I don't know how to answer that without sounding like a bitch.
But that is.
So I was like trying to figure out a word. I don't know how to explain it, but I think so there was this one incident, okay? I think this was like the first... Oh, okay, so when I... Why I have this problem where I don't finish any sentences? Okay. The last video had the same thing too. Okay, so I think I've always like accepted myself. I think like I remember you also telling me this, you know, because we're only kids. There's a lot of time that you spend with yourself. But I remember, so I've never been like really exposed to being insecure. Like no one's like really called me out on like something and like hurt me as a kid. But there was this one time. So I think this was like one of the most defining points in my life where I decided that I'm never gonna feel insecure because of someone else's opinions. So I was brought up here for the longest time without visiting India. So the first time I visited India, I think I was like 11 years old.
What?
Yeah. So
when you have a lot of family here, makes sense.
Yeah. And so when I was 11, I think 10. Yeah. When I was 10 years old, I went to India for like my first ever time that I remember the place. Yeah, so then I met this girl and then like we used to play a lot and stuff, okay? And I remember once to play with her, I wore these like leggings, like very tight fit, the sports leggings, okay? And I wore like a crop top and I went out to play with her. And then she looked at me like after we played and went like, that is so... She said something, okay, in Malayalam. She was like, are you sure you want to be wearing this? Something like that she said, okay? And I was like, huh? And she was like, it's so vulgar. She used the word vulgar. And I'm 10 years old. Yeah. And I was like, okay. And then she said, like went on for a bit, okay? And then I was like, oh my God, I'm so wrong for doing this. Like, and then I just went into my little bubble, okay? And I didn't talk about this to anyone. And then I remember, I think a day later or something, my dad comes to me and he goes like... So that chick's dad called my dad and he went like, what did you go wearing like a couple of days ago? And I was like, oh my God, is this an issue? Like, oh my God, am I in trouble? And I was like, I was wearing this tights and this like fluorescent top thing I had. And then he was like, do you remember where you bought it from? I was like, I don't know, maybe Amma knows. And then he goes like, I was like, what happened? She went home and told her dad she wants the exact same outfit and asked her dad to buy her the same thing when he came back to India. But her dad didn't understand what the outfit was. So like he decided to call my dad and ask where the outfit is from. And that's the day I realized like sometimes people just hate on you because they can't.
They want something that you have, or they
Yeah.
want to process that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like that
That's a very good
changed a lot of the things that I
That's
see.
a really good thing.
Yeah.
I know what you
So
mean.
I think because of that, like even like if people don't like something about me, I've just been very comfortable like
Yeah.
with them not liking it.
Yeah, for me, like if people don't, when I was like a little younger, when people didn't like me, it would really affect me. I'm like, but why? Like I worked so hard on myself. Why don't you like what I did? You know, this is my project. Like I'm doing a project kind of thing. But I feel like now it's more like it's okay. We have different beliefs, different morals. It's cool. Like we don't vibe right now. It's okay, kind of thing. But yeah, this is actually really nice because like this is exactly the thing. Is I feel like people only project what they are insecure about on other people. Because like I don't know. I've been like I was thinking like, this is very weird. It sounds very like not a hypocrite. Sounds very not even modest. Okay, it's like I don't notice flaws in people. Never have. Like genuinely, not even joking. It sounds like I'm being a genuine like oh my God, but I really really haven't because I've never looked at things or like bothered to find a flaw in people. Yeah, okay. So now my cousins knows about me. Sometimes they like, dude, does this makeup not match my face? Or like, dude, does this pimple look very obvious to you? I look and they're like, no point asking her anyway. She's not like she. And they walk away, because I don't see it. And I realized that oh shit. I'm not be looking at people, more people looking at me. And I was like, let's not go down that road.
Yeah.
There's like a whole
Another Pandora's box.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
not
like
open it.
unnecessary. So I was like, it's cool. My cousins they're like, oh, you're quite secure with yourself. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I can't change anything. So my thing is basically this, okay? Like whatever I would ideally if I have stretch marks, okay, obviously I feel like pretty much everybody does. I can go get a laser removed. It's more expensive to do that. I'd rather just be okay with it. That's a cheaper option. I was like, it's fine, it happens to everybody. It's gonna keep happening my entire life. How does it matter getting lasered off or whatever? And I'm just like, it's cool. It's cheaper to just accept it than to do something about it,
Recently I saw this post on Instagram. Like, I never understood. There were always these posts, like, see your stretch marks as like these beautiful things. See, this acne thing is beautiful, blah, 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 blah. It was always like beautification, like forced beautification of like a scar or a flaw. And I was like, I get it, but I don't relate to it. And then I recently saw this post where they're like, it's not beautiful. But it's not ugly either. It's just you.
Yeah.
And it's okay to be. And I was like, now see, that makes sense. Like, no, like, it's not like, oh my God, it's the most perfect stretch marks or anything. But it makes sense. It's not beautiful, but it's not ugly either.
I know, it's just make it a bad or a
good thing. Yeah.
There's another post I read. They're like, every scar, every stretch mark, every freckle you have on your body tells you a story of something from some part of your life. Some
that is true,
that I have. It was like when I had like a very bad binge eating phase in school, and then I was like, and then it was like became really chubby, and then like I lost that weight like when I got into a healthier routine, and I had stretch marks from that. I was thinking like, oh, should I eat so much? And I'd be like, fuck, I figured out my eting. It's not like I have a very serious disorder. Nobody ever diagnosed it, but like I had like a stress eating situation once upon a time. So then I was like, oh shit, that's such a cool thing. So like every acne scar, everything, whatever, like like people, like a lot of people I know who have like injuries from falling and like playing sports and all, they're like so upset about, and I was like,
it makes sense.
I was like, I want to accept everything about my life and everything that could possibly go wrong by the time I'm 30. Like after that, I don't have time for bullshit like this. Like I have too much to do.
I think that's also because you've had the worst problem. So after a point, like everything else is just so trivial that you can't even account it as a problem.
That's also possible. But like I don't think like, how did I pray for this or is this part of life? But I like my thing is just purely be like a sense of pure acceptance is what self-love is to me. And I feel like at one point you stop prioritizing that time you spend with yourself and you start hanging out with people. And then you become like you start enjoying that as your stress-free time and like reality ideally. And when that stops, suddenly you're like, shit, what did I do before this? Like how did I manage? Do you think self-love is just just going back to your hobbies or picking up a new hobby? Because I feel like that's another part of the manual that I've seen. It's like pick up a new hobby. Or like after like a bad breakup, like go do something new.
For me, like after a breakup, by picking up a new hobby, it helps me, divert all of these thoughts into a more productive fashion. But I don't think that's a way for me to practice self-love. It's more like me just like committing to something new.
I feel like a part of self-love definitely has to be that you do something that's only with yourself. Like an activity of some kind. Or it's just going for drives by yourself, listening to music. Like, not like drives on an errand.
I feel like for me, that would just serve as a reminder that I'm also okay by myself.
Yeah.
But like not a reminder that like
you need to be okay with yourself.
yeah, I mean, as in, it's not like a reminder where I'm like, I love myself, so I'm doing this,
Yeah.
or this is how I love myself.
Yeah.
It's more like, yeah, I'm cool on my own as well.
I know. Like, amount of people ask me like, oh, like I went to Expo alone. My God, the amount of people who felt bad for me was so ridiculous. They're like, oh my God, like like my mom and dad felt really bad. Like, yesterday, they were like, mom said, let me take pictures of you. And I was like, why? She's like, no, you've been coming on who's taking pictures of you. And I was like, Ma, like I don't come with the pictures of myself. I come here for this. It's cool. And even like I feel like one of the security guys actually noticed me and he actually was like, you come alone a lot. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, okay,
Oh my God.
Yeah. And
Wait,
like,
which security guard? Like a pivot?
Somewhere, yeah, opportunity gate or somewhere there.
Oh shit.
And I was like, okay. And then when I went to Luxembourg as well, like I didn't take the slide. It was too much of a rush for the slide. And I was like, I'll come back for it. And I was leaving. He's like, you're not going to do that. And I was like, I'm in a rush. He's like, what do you rush for? You're alone. And I was
Oh my God.
I was like, yeah, but I was booking somewhere else. I was like, I'll come back. And he said, we're going to move the slide tomorrow. I was like,
What?
He was joking.
Oh, okay. Oh my God.
God, no. And I was like,
Because even I haven't done the slide yet.
No, I haven't done it because I was like, I'll come back for it. Like, we have to go back for the slide.
Yes.
Because like, there's so many people waiting. I don't want to wait.
Yeah.
I want to go do whatever else I could and stuff. But like, a lot of people felt really sad, or I don't know. I feel like people thought that, oh, that's so lonely of her to go by herself. I mean, I was like, yeah, I have a lot of friends here, but I'm doing it because I want to go alone. Like, I had a great time. And I went like, 3 days in a row almost. So I intend to go the rest of it as well. But I feel like people really do see doing things by yourself. It's a very sad thing.
You know, so I've always been secure myself, but there was this time where I felt like I would never like go watch a movie on my own or like go out and eat. Not because like I wasn't okay being by myself, but I just felt like everyone's gonna judge me. And I used to like never do that, especially like when I went back to Delhi. And then I think one of my closest friends, she used to just like every time, she was stressed or something, she would just like go and do not a walk or anything. She would just like go out and do something by herself. Like she'd go shopping on her own, and then she'll have lunch by herself, and then she'll have and it's not like she's lonely or anything because like we're all there, but like she just felt like I want to do this right now. I don't like others might not be available, and I don't want to ask them. It's fine, And then I started like joining Kathak classes, and some days, when my other friends who were not there in class who were there with me in the class didn't attend, I was forced to go by myself, and it wasn't like a short journey because sometimes I walked, and then I was like, you know what, it's actually kind of okay. And then I consciously started like going shopping on my own, buying fruits on my own, having lunch at like Sharna Bhavan in Delhi on my own. And I was like, it's fine. Like people, even if they do judge you, they're going to get over it in like a few minutes. It's fine.
No, that's the thing. For me, I remember like, this is like supposed to come on a school conversation, but like I had a very bad school life. One part of school life was like I have a lot of friends. My school was very fucked up. We didn't have a cafeteria. We did not have a cafeteria. We all sat on the playground and ate. It was also okay. We sit on the ground. We were not allowed to sit in the class and eat. Not allowed because like smells and I don't know. They just didn't want to. They want to get vitamin D or whatever the hell it is. So there's a phase in my life where
you tell me in summers in hot UAE.
We had a like a shading thing, like a what's the thing called? Just like
the parking shade canopies?
Yeah, like a canopy, but a huge canopy.
Okay.
Like a stretchable membrane kind of thing. That's it. That's the only thing. We got some shade. That also was only installed when I was in 3rd grade. So it was a good 2 or 3 years of my life I was sat in the hot sun. Fucking weird school.
That is so messed up.
It was very weird. And I didn't realize how weird it was until I went to college and spoke to other people. And they're like, you could eat in class? That sounds like a brilliant thing. So I'll tell you what sad part about this was, okay. So now I have friends for a few years there in school. And like this is fine now. All my friends who are my friends now, who were my friends then, we've spoken about it, it's moved past it, not even sad anymore. I mean, once I sat in like the ground alone, like I sat on the side of the school, and some random 7-year-old girls came and like, you don't have friends or what?
Oh,
shit. I'm like, bro, I'm really struggling right now. Don't fucking fuck with me, okay? And I was like, Dude, I've eaten in the toilet. I've eaten in the toilet. I've eaten in the medical room. I would fake sickness and be like, I'm not feeling well. Yeah, it was like school, 20 minutes of the day. That's all recess was. But it was like an extreme toxic situation because I'm like, what do I do today? Because I couldn't sit in class. I was not allowed to sit in class. Teachers would be like, you can't sit in class, you need to leave. Teachers don't care who you're with. I mean, everyone's wondering and no one's asking why. It's weird. It's a very shitty place to be in. But like, whatever, I did it. Now I've realized that I can sit in any food court in the world. I can go anywhere in the world. I could eat by myself completely fine with no issues. Because I feel like it really builds a confidence. But I can eat alone anywhere I wanted to.
Yeah.
And I can go for a movie by myself. Like I can do anything I want to do completely alone purely because I've done like the saddest part of my life like alone. And I think that's kind of where how do you practice self-love in a relationship? I mean, how would you? Because if like self-love is purely spending I mean, I feel like in a relationship you can't be like, I'll spend Sunday by myself. That's kind of,
Okay, so I feel like a lot of people that I know that I've dated ended things on a bad note because like one of them didn't love themselves enough and used to get insecure about it, or even worse, I know people who've gotten insecure about the fact that the other person was so secure in themselves. It is so messed up.
Yeah.
Like it makes sense. Okay, if one person's more secure than you can inspire and aspire to that level of self-acceptance, but it doesn't make sense because it's not like I'm like, it's self-acceptance is not like, oh, I'm so perfect, like
I don't
it's
need anybody.
yeah, it's not that.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't know how to
Like,
explain.
I'll be okay. I mean, I'm happy you're here, but I'll be okay if you're not here as well.
Yeah.
I think that's what self-love is. No, I don't. Like, I feel like there's some relationships where, like, the fact that one person is very secure in this thing, they're not very needy as per se,
Yeah.
the other person.
I don't know who put in this concept. See, we can talk only with respect to, guys, okay? That doesn't mean like all guys do this or all girls do this or anything. We're not like trying to vouch for one particular gender, but like from our personal experience, and you guys should like comment upon the other gender as well. But
Again, guys, not on chat. In the comments.
But yeah, it's so frustrating when like, I don't know who put out this notion that to be needy is to be in love.
Yeah. Oh God, yuck.
Like I
just thought about it and I was realizing how disgusting it is to be needy.
like the fact that you're not calling them every single second of your life or every drive. Like I know people who've picked up fights because the other person didn't call them the second they were in the car, or like hung up without saying bye. Because sometimes you're like in this urgency, like okay, I'll just call you back, and then you just hang up. Like, so I've heard of so many issues about that, or like the fact that you just have to meet that person every day. And like
if you don't meet each other, you don't love
it's not like if you don't meet that person for a week, you're just gonna forget about that person.
No, I think that's how it works. I feel like people are like, if you're dating them, you have to meet them every day, and I'm like, how do you do that? How do you meet someone every day? Like,
so many people get hurt by the existence of a close friend in the other person, because for me it makes sense that your friend could potentially be closer than your partner because you know them for longer. Eventually, I mean, the other person can also be built up to that level, but it doesn't make sense. You start dating, you throw out like
all your friends.
And then you just dedicate yourself to this one person.
I think that's how. I think maybe that's where like all these relationships become toxic as well, right? Because you don't prioritize your life before them as important as
exactly.
like you have with them.
Yeah.
I feel like you're like, oh, this is new. I need to give it all my energy.
Yeah.
Give all my time and effort into this because like everybody else in my life will understand because they've been there for longer.
Yeah. What is this rank list that you need to prepare? Like best friend here, boyfriend here. Why can't we just have parallel list of existence?
Exactly.
Like no one needs to be pitted against each other.
I don't think there's. I mean, for me, if I had to choose between a boyfriend and my best friend, probably my best friend would come higher.
For sure.
Because I've known her longer. She's been a part of my life for longer. Yeah, so like I want to know like how people like we'll put up the questions. I mean, we'll put it up. We're obviously pre-recording everything, so like this is gonna be one part.
It won't be like a survey as such. Mostly just like
genuine questions. Yeah, no answers to. So like we put up the questions, and by the time you guys hear this, you all probably would have answered it, and that will be the next part of this conversation because I think we have so much to say that we can't do it in one part. This is impossible. But I think that's kind of all that we want to talk about today.
Anyways,
I think that's pretty much it.
Yes.
So thank you guys for listening again.
Thank you.
And we hope we're getting better.
Yes, please. Let us know if we're getting worse.
I will know fast. But either ways, let us know how it's going.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even if you don't like it, we probably will still continue to do this because that's a lot of fun now. It's become a weekly routine. But anyways, thank you so much for
Thank you guys.
to us.
Yes. And drop a like, share, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
Okay, even like, share aside. Can you please comment?
No, do all of it.
Yeah.
But definitely comment.
Yes.
Because we're so tired of people being like, promote this on this page, promote this on that page. We don't want to do that. We want people to, like, we don't want ghost followers and ghost comments.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, guys. I think by the time we post it, I think we'll have like 100 plus followers.
Oh.
We're crazy, guys. It's just so crazy. So many people. But
okay, great. We hope you guys enjoyed this part 1 of
this
episode 4. Yeah. All right. See you again next week. I mean, what?
Bye.
Bye.